It's actually a really cold early spring day. And you know, in our region, we often really look forward to the woods greening up and spring arriving. But there's some interesting stories about what greens up first and why, and if it's good or not so good. I'm at Rum Village Nature Center, Rum Village Park in South Bend, Indiana, and I am going to take a look at some of the plants that we might have in our area that are foolers. They're bright green in early spring, but there's a little bit of a mixed message with that. So Gary Harrington is the director here at Rum Village Park. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Evie.
How are you?
I'm great, thank
So
you.
look at this cheerful green. Like when I look across the woods, there's not a lot of green. The trees aren't green yet, but this is green.
This is green. This is, you know, it is a fooler because just about the very first thing you're going to see in the woods this time of the year that is vibrant green is invasive honeysuckle.
Yeah.
Before anything else is green in our woods, you'll see this honeysuckle.
Okay.
And it's really a shame because this stuff does not belong, as we know.
Right.
Really, this stuff belongs on the other side of the planet. It's native to Asia, but not downtown South Bend, which we're very close to right now.
Sure.
And the bad thing about this plant, of course, it has a tendency to take over a good portion of wherever it's growing, whether it's the woods, a roadside along the St. Joseph River. It's highly invasive, takes over, will block all the spring ephemerals and wildflowers that are growing along here right now, and doesn't give them a chance to get sunlight and do their thing.
It really does change and has changed the character of our woodlands as we know it. So it is a problem. Now, the interesting story here at Rum Village is in this area, I mean, in general, I've seen much higher infestations in other areas, but you've been trying to diligently treat it, get rid of it. And I can see down here at the base of this one, so this one's been cut at some time, right? It's all been hacked off.
We have cut it, yes.
Yeah, okay. And then do you treat it with some kind of herbicide? Or?
We do. We treat it, and this one has not been treated because the plant is very resilient.
Yeah.
Because we didn't properly treat it, it's coming
It's
right back up.
coming right back. It's so aggressive. All right, so let's help people learn how to identify it even this early. First of all, it's really green.
It is
and nothing
very, very
else
green.
in the
Yes.
woods is green. All right, how else can we identify it?
So it grows, the leaves grow opposite one another.
Okay, and the twigs, right? The little, right?
Yes.
Yep. Instead
Yes.
of staggered on the stem,
Right.
they're right opposite each other. Okay.
And the margins, the edges of the leaves, they don't have any teeth. So they're
okay.
smooth margins
Yeah,
on the edge there.
Okay, and the leaves will get a little bigger than this, right?
They will.
Okay.
This is just, it's just now emerging.
Yep, okay, all right. So not any teeth on the leaves, all right.
Right.
And I always see, like, if the light's right, there's just this little, like, almost pink edge to those leaf margins or the leaf edges as it comes out. Just a little, it's almost like it's outlined to me, so that's
Yeah.
good. All right, what else can we look for? How about the bark?
The bark, depending on what species it is, it's oftentimes it's kind of shaggy looking in appearance
right.
and kind of scrubby looking.
Yeah.
And we can see an example right over there.
Yeah, like this branch right
Right
here.
there.
Yeah, and it's like striped, right?
And
Like
yes.
Yeah.
This one is kind of striped
Yeah. Okay.
in appearance.
All right.
Um,
And I know one other thing that
Yes.
folks might be able to identify their shrubs in their woods is the center of the twig, right? So
Yes.
it's okay if I break this
Absolutely.
off, right? Like take the whole thing, right?
Yes, it's destined to be removed.
Okay. All right. So I just snapped that off, and it looks hollow.
It
at the
is.
center. Okay. So most we often refer to that as the pith or the center part of the twig, and this
Yes.
is a hollow pith in honeysuckle, and it's another great identifier, right? Like
Yes.
opposite branching, opposite leaves, maybe the striped bark. Usually, how about the growth pattern? Like it's kind of clumpy, right?
It does, and it
like
can
clusters.
It grows in clusters, and it will grow out of control. It will, and if you see a plant like this growing,
Yeah.
and it's growing in a bush, and you see lots and lots of them in your backyard, chances are it's not the native variety, which doesn't have a hollow pith. and it does have the teeth along the margins. That's how you know it's the good stuff.
Okay, as in a native honeysuckle?
The native honeysuckle.
Which is not very common. We should just let folks know. We hardly ever see it.
We hardly ever see it,
Yeah.
and it doesn't grow out of control like these guys do,
Right.
which take over an entire area and just will deny any sunlight to the plants that are desirable on the forest floor.
What is the ecological advantage to non-native invasives of flushing out so early? I mean, like, why? You know, it's cold. It's like in the 30s today.
Right.
But what's the advantage to the plant of getting green so quickly?
Well, one thing is it gets a head start on everybody else, right? Because everybody else is still kind of asleep. So these guys are getting sunlight, and they get a chance for just photosynthesize before anything else is really having a chance to do that.
Okay, all right. So in many ways, they just outcompete everything. Flush out early.
They do.
And then thick growth, shading out everything else, which makes it really challenging for anything else to grow underneath. So,
Yes.
all right. So another plant that I can think of that I see really, really early, and I don't know if you have any here, but I recently saw some on a hike, is something that sometimes we call wild garlic, field garlic, whatever. It kind of looks like chives.
Yes,
Sometimes people get it in their lawn.
they do.
It like sprouts up, right?
They
It has
do.
that really oniony, garlicky smell.
Yes, that's how dominant it is now in our area, unfortunately.
It's just like everywhere.
Yes.
In the woods, in our lawns, so it flushes out early. And you know, that makes me think too, lawns, what about lawns?
Yes, people don't even realize that dandelions, for example,
Yeah.
people think, well, I've got dandelions in my backyard, so what? Well, and they are a huge problem this time of the year, but do they ever realize that they're not native? And one of the reasons they're so abundant is because they don't belong here and there's no natural means of controlling them, just like the honeysuckle. They come from the other side of the planet. They're Eurasian, just like other species that are lawn pests, like crabgrass.
Crabgrass.
Those grow in abundance. They grow out of control. There's no natural means of controlling them. And that's why they kind of go ballistic in people's yards, because there's just no natural means of controlling them. Imagining that, what happens in your lawn, happening here in our woods or in other places in this Michiana area. These plants are growing out of control, unchecked.
Yeah.
So bad enough to have that happen in your lawn where you probably are controlling that.
Yeah.
It only gets controlled in our woods only with a lot of effort, time, effort, and trouble, and cost.
And cost, right? It does, like when I think of land resource managers, it takes a lot of money, personnel time to remove this kind of stuff. So, but I do want to circle back to the lawns because, you know, when we think about lawns, in general, it's all non-native, right? Bluegrass, Kentucky bluegrass is not even native at all. So it's a good reminder, less lawn, plant some native plants instead.
Yes, that's a great idea.
And get rid of some of that lawn.
There's a huge national movement to do just that.
Just that.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, how about if we walk a little bit more and maybe we can find maybe we'll find some natives, which will be great. Maybe we'll find another invasive out there to see what it looks like right now.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Well, now this is kind of interesting. It's not very leafy, but the stems are getting kind of a green cast right here.
Yes.
So what is this?
This is Euonymus. Yeah.
Okay, not native.
Not native, no.
And it has these interesting wings on the stem.
They do. They're rather distinct, aren't they?
They are winged Euonymus, but it has another name. It's a popular landscaping bush, right?
Burning bush.
Burning bush.
Yes.
Striking red color in the fall.
Beautiful red color in the fall, but gosh, one of those guys, unfortunately, that is not native.
And this is probably a plant here in the woods that probably got planted by a bird, maybe eating the seeds, dropping the seeds out here. But
probably.
But when we have these kinds of shrubs in our home landscape, we don't think of it, but it's really easy for birds to transport the seeds to a wilder area, and then it starts to take over. And look how thick it is here, right? Like there's so many stems here, all of that winged Euonymus. Wow,
yes.
it's amazing.
And we probably had a large one here that we probably removed in the past.
Okay, and so
those,
it's suckering
yes,
up?
Yes,
Okay.
that's
what
I would guess.
Yeah.
But yes, just another invasive that we just don't want in the area.
You don't want the area. If you got one in your yard, yank it out and plant something native. It'll be beautiful and better for all the woods health around us. So, all right, let's see what else we can go find.
Okay.
Well, Gary, now here's another case of a non-native that's pretty green and has fleshed a lot of growth. I mean, the good news here is that we've got some native wildflowers. We got cutleaf toothwort, right?
Yes, we do.
All right, so that's native, but like what? So what's this? What's this culprit?
We've got garlic mustard coming in.
Yeah.
We've got rosettes, and we've got plants that are going to be coming in.
Yeah.
Are those rosettes? Are this year's kids maybe coming in?
Yeah. So we should explain. It's a biennial, so
yes.
One year it's kind of just like a little green rosette, and in some places where infestations are thick, you just have a carpet of those little rosettes. And then next year they flower, right?
They do.
Okay.
And they flower. Boy, do they ever flower.
Yeah.
And in this particular area, it's kind of an ongoing battle trying to keep these guys in control because garlic mustard, of course, is highly invasive.
Yeah, and so eventually what happens is if the infestation gets too heavy, the garlic mustard crowds out the natives, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And hence the problem.
Yeah.
And so if we have, yes, a blanket of this, goodbye to the native guys,
yeah.
and hello to these guys that we really don't want around.
We really don't want.
They don't belong here.
Yep, yep, yep. Okay. All right. Well, another good one to keep an eye out. If folks have this in their yards, what can they do?
Yes. Well, the best bet is just to pull it right out of the ground.
Out of the ground.
And what we do here is what you're supposed to do everywhere in this area: pull it, bag it, and get rid of it.
Okay. Yep.
It's very resilient, so if we just put it back on the ground again, they have a tendency to turn right up, and especially when they're ready to go to seed, they will go to seed, and we have hundreds, and we have thousands and thousands of seeds if we don't dispose of it properly.
Right. Okay, so it's actually one good thing about it being green early in the spring is we can see it and identify it and pull it. It's usually this time of year, pretty easy to pull.
Yes, it is.
All right, great. Well, thanks for showing us this additional invasive that sprouts out pretty quickly. And remember, you can find your own outdoor elements when you visit area parks and natural areas. We'll see you soon.